I'm Keegan Przeslak.
I'm Erik Hoff.
And today we're going to try and do a little review of, or semi-review of The Woman in Black. And I guess the idea is hopefully we can start a podcast or some kind of vlog where we review movies or just talk about them in a way. So it's kind of a review. So yeah, maybe this will become something or maybe not, but we'll post it. So
The Woman in Black, it stars Daniel Radcliffe. It takes place in the 19th century. He's a lawyer that is sent to this remote village where he discovers there may be a ghost forcing little kids to kill themselves. So, what were your thoughts?
Well, I'd just like to say that synopsis sounds great.
I'm already on board with the synopsis.
Right, I was going to say the synopsis sounds really cool. A ghost forcing kids to kill themselves. That sounds like a good horror movie, but
what do we get? We get a PG-13 horror movie in February.
And
maybe that's what I should have said for the synopsis.
That's the synopsis. And don't forget 1800s. Okay,
so it's Gothic, Victorian nonsense.
PG-13 January or February.
Yes.
Okay, so I thought The Woman in Black was okay. I think that it really doesn't have a story, and the story that it does have is worthless, and that would be okay for a horror movie if like stuff was cool that was happening or there was gore. That'd be okay if there was no story.
Hey, that's what Fulci taught us. You don't need plot when you have gore. But let's discuss the characters.
Right. So there's Daniel.
Their relationships.
Well, there aren't any.
Daniel Radcliffe. He's got a 4-year-old son.
I believe his name is Arthur in the film.
Yes. Arthur Kipps.
I believe so.
We'll stick with Kipps for the rest of this review.
Mr. Kipps.
Mr. Kipps. His wife dies when she's giving birth to their child. So for these past 4 years, he's just been absolutely miserable. We see at the very beginning that Kipps' son draws stick figures of the two of them.
Right.
And in all of these pictures, the way Kipps is portrayed is always with a sad face.
Yeah.
A frown.
Frowny. Yeah.
His little boy tells him because that's how you always look.
Right.
Despite that, we still don't get a grim tone though.
Right.
For this movie.
It like even when I'm not going to say who dies for spoilers, but even like when certain characters or just people die, like it kind of doesn't matter. Like it's just the
stakes just aren't high.
No, not at all.
Because these relationships, they're not built upon. Like for example, Kipps and his son.
Right.
They have maybe 2 or 3 minutes of screen time.
Right.
And that's no exaggeration.
And even if that Daniel Radcliffe just sort of like, I love you, son, and then leaves. I'm just saying like their relationship is almost worthless. So what the movie becomes is that
it's primarily just him. I mean,
right.
There's a good 45 minutes in the movie where it's just Kipps. I mean, there's no other characters. There's nobody else acting with him.
One cool aspect of the movie is this: he's a real estate agent. And he's going to sell a house. The house belongs to the Woman in Black, the ghost.
This is a ghost.
But what's cool about it is the house is on an island that's pretty
covered by marshland.
Right, it's a marsh, and it's pretty secluded. But there's a road to get to it, except for when there's high tide. When there's high tide, the water washes out the road, so nobody can get out there. So there's like periods of time where he's stuck. He can't leave.
And there's the mandatory cemetery in the front yard.
Right, you got to have a cemetery in the front yard. I mean, especially if you're doing an 1800s goth garbage,
yes,
as this film is. But, I guess I was just saying that aspect is cool. Like, that idea is cool, and it looks great. Like, that's something about the movie that I like, is the visual style is done well. Like, it's filmed...
Even though you hate the goth Victorian set piece of it, you still think it looks
right. I'm not really into this time period. I really don't like any period movies, but I don't like this time period specifically. Like, I don't care about people wearing like fluffy shirts and stuff like that. Like,
I hate how everyone looks like they should be in a cure. in this movie.
Yes, they should be in The Cure. So I don't like that, but it's done well. Like, it looks great, and it's shot really well. Like the island that the house is on, like, it all looks great. The cemetery, for instance, like that, it looks good and it's shot well, but it doesn't matter because. So the most important part of the movie is the scares, and I guess that's what we'll get to next.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the scares.
So the whole movie basically should revolve around around scares by a ghost, because this is a ghost film, right? It kind of is just Daniel Radcliffe's character just like walking, basically dungeon crawling this house, and then like hearing a creak there, or this door opens behind him, and then he walks in, and like, you know, another creak there, and he's scared, and
95% of those scares are loud noises.
Right.
A quick camera jerk.
There's really nothing going on.
Unfortunately, they're like one after another and another. And while I guess maybe in theory that should be scary, like a scary thing and then a scary thing and a scary thing.
Right.
But you become dull to it, and so it's not that creepy anymore.
Right, and some of the scares are like, I 100% agree. Some of the scares, there's like a lot of loud noises leading up to it. So I guess they wanted to like build the tension before the scare, which I've seen before. But like by the time the scare hits, you don't even care because you're desensitized to the loud noise.
Oh, do the monkey dance for me.
I'm not doing it. There's this stupid monkey.
Got some tambourines
wind up
that the ghost likes to set off from time to time.
It's like a wind-up toy that shakes tambourines. I thought it was hilarious. I started laughing. But anyways, I guess just the scares are basically terrible.
But
there's one or two good scares.
Being a ghost movie, there's also the scares where there's just something moving by itself. For example, a rocking chair.
Right.
And in my opinion, that is creepy, though.
Yeah.
The noise that goes along with it is creepy. Like I could feel my hair standing up, like when that scene would happen. Some other really good scares in the movie. I don't know if I call them scares because there was no noise involved. There was nothing sudden.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like even the rocking chair rocking. It's like it's not really a scare. It's just like you said. It's creepy.
It's creepy.
And I can appreciate like creepiness, but I don't want to say it, but that creepiness doesn't pay off to a scare and doesn't get you involved. Like you're just like, oh, that's creepy that there's a chair, but that's it. I don't know. I feel like it's uninvolved. So
what I liked was there was a couple of shots where Kipps would look out the window and there may or may not be someone standing in the cemetery. There may or may not be somebody crawling out of the marsh. And that was creepy, man. That was done really well.
I like those scenes a lot. I mean, there is some good stuff in this movie. Like I said, the cinematography is pretty good and it looks great. It's done well. I just think a movie like this ultimately comes down to like, did it scare you or did you like jump? And I just don't think it was. I don't think it had anything going for it in that department, and that kind of sums up the movie.
Well, let's discuss the ending.
Okay, spoilery ending or just what?
No
okay.
Spoilers.
All right,
no spoilers. As we touched upon earlier in this review, we complained about the lack of the relationships.
Right.
And so the ending relies hugely on the relationship between Kipps and his son. But since that relationship is non-existent when we see the outcome,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Right.
And then in addition to that,
it's weak.
It was a happy ending.
Right, so it's weak is what I mean.
Don't give me a happy ending in a horror film.
Yeah, I mean,
give me 1968, Night of the Living Dead. Give me fucking 1985, Return of the Living Dead, where everyone's just gonna die. I
think this is one place where we sort of agree 100% on the movie, is the ending kind of sucks. It's a cop-out. Basically, it's like, oh, here's a horror movie that has like a sad ending, but not really. Like, that's what it is. So, you know, I don't know. I definitely thought the ending was okay.
It could have been a lot cooler had it taken a slightly different direction.
Right. I guess my statement, how about this? Just the last thing I'll say about the ending is, it was just like the rest of the movie. It was just whatever. Like, it was just as lackluster as the entire movie. For me.
So, overall, did you like it? Would you recommend it?
I liked it. Like, I know that I've sat in here and I've torn it apart for a while, but I liked it. Like, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was okay. So I didn't hate it, but would I recommend it to somebody? No. But right now, would I recommend it to somebody? Probably, because there's nothing out. Like, what are you going to go see in February?
It's the only horror film
that's come
out right now. What are you going to go see? Act of Valor?
Yeah, like, if you had to choose between Act of Valor and The Woman in Black, which we had to, I would pick The Woman in Black. But
absolutely,
it's just, I don't think I wouldn't recommend it to somebody, but it was okay. What did you think?
I liked it despite its weak ending, but I'm in the same boat with you. I would not recommend it.
This movie comes down to, for me, whether it had any scares or any good scares, and it doesn't. So that's basically why I didn't like it. So I guess
you know what? I know I already said this, but had the ending been a little different, I probably would be raving about this movie right now. But that ending was just too unfortunate.
Right. So I think Erik liked it more than I did.
Yeah,
but the ending still sucked for both of us.
Absolutely. So for more movie reviews and video game reviews from me, check out hellomarylou.blogspot.com. And
for more reviews and other movie-related things, you can check out, from me, check out Keegsta at tumblr.com. And, I guess that's it. You can follow me on Twitter if you'd like. If you watch this whole video, at Keegsta. So.
Thanks for watching. I'm Erik.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Keegan.